If you make all of the major decisions in the marriage, example, finding y'all home, managing the finances, finding your family vehicle, and your man is the breadwinner, is it wrong to feel like he isn't leading? Lay out the spreadsheet of your duties and your responsibilities and affirm him to step into some roles that he needs to.
Which some stuff is not going to look like your ideal man leading in this. You may actually be the main person in that. And it may not look like what y'all think that the scripture's saying on that. This is an Iwegbu production.
Period. Welcome to the Love Lounge. Here in the Love Lounge with the Iwegbus, we answer all of your dating, relationship, and marriage questions. And so for today, we have a really good one because I feel like so many women deal with it. And I think that I might have related with this just a little bit. We're going to talk about it.
Hold on. What? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Can we talk about it?
Y'all pray.
I thought this was the realest.
While she reading, y'all pray.
I thought this was the realest and the rawest couple. Is that who we are?
Yeah, but then you say you want us to be discreet, like, you know what
okay, sorry. Well, okay.
No, we the realest and rawest. It is what it is. Our calling is just different.
I wish we were called to discretion on levels that we see. But we aren't, y'all. That's something I'd be dealing with. I'm like, God, why are you gonna call me to a private life of like being a gardener or something? You know?
Somebody gotta be real about the actual realities of marriage.
I get tired of telling on myself. Yeah. That's crazy. All right. It says if you make, this is a woman, if you make all of the major decisions in the marriage, example, finding y'all home, managing the finances, finding your family vehicle, and your man is the breadwinner, so he brings in the money, is it wrong to feel like he isn't leading? Is it wrong to want to know if he can make things happen for you all too outside of going to work? Or is that the role of a wife? The man brings the money and she makes it happen.
Wow.
So, this is such a deep question for me because I feel like as soon as I saw it, I was like, we got to talk about this ASAP, because I feel like so many women are dealing with passive husbands, husbands that aren't showing up in the home, right? They literally are just going to work. Yeah. They aren't leading in prayer, nothing. Like they're going to work and that's it. And I think that especially for like old school, like if you was brought up in church, that's what you saw the man go to work. Like I think it was Portia, somebody said this, they was like, we're not just gonna have praying grandmas, we're gonna have praying grandpas and praying daddies and you know, like men showing up in so many different ways. And so I want to answer this in a way that I think is biblical and then also in a way that might relieve you as well. So when I read the second part of this question, that's what really stuck with me. So like she's saying all of the roles that she's doing, and she's like, hey, my husband's just making money. But then she said, is the role of the wife to basically make it happen with what the man brings home? And it literally made me think of the word a nurturer. Like we literally take what you give us and we make that thing pop. Yeah. For instance, children. Right? You plant a seed and we bring you life. You bring home money and we make a home. You bring home, the money and we plan the celebrations and the Thanksgivings and we do all of these things. And it can be overwhelming if you feel like you are being weighed down with some of the things that you might not have to do. Yeah. And so I wanted to encourage you, sis, because I feel like there was a time that we have experienced that where I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing too much. And the crazy thing is, I knew that nothing was wrong with it, but I needed to open up my mouth and ask for more because I'm like, I'm starting to not like things that I actually do enjoy, like Thanksgivings and birthdays. Like I'm getting stressed out, but no, this is what I love. And then I had to look and be like, wait, what can I relieve? What do I not have to do? And so I want to encourage you because I do think that a role of a wife is to make it happen. In a sense of like some areas you're just going to be better at, sis. Like, let me say this very clearly. If you are better at handling that money, and your man, he kind of reckless, and he don't know what to do. He might not pay the bills. He just might not pay attention. And that's your strength. That's your strength.
Yes.
And you cannot do anything about that. And I don't want you to grow frustrated because that's your strength. And society is telling you, oh, that's the man's role. Honey, you know how many women we know that handle the finances, and the men, they just make it. Like, they make the money. But I think where women mess up is doing it all. So for instance, if you are doing the cars, if you're just a better decision maker in the finances, that doesn't mean that he just needs to be dumbfounded and ignorant. No, he needs to learn in it. Okay, but shoot, since I'm doing all this, hey honey, I'm gonna need you to make sure dinner. Okay, you got dinner? You got the kids? Can you clean the cars every other week? Can you, like, what can you sit down with your man? And we did this thing in our counseling session where we wrote, there was a list of roles.
That was so good.
It was so good.
That was so good. Yeah.
It was our counseling session, girl. Let me tell you, I just knew up and down, back and forth, that I do more than Namdi. I mean, the way that I'm like, I just wonder how it feels to work and just be done. Like, what does that feel like? Because from the moment I wake up I'm hearing mama, I'm hearing babe, I'm hearing give me some, I'm hearing I want that, I want a cookie, I want a booty, I want the it's like all day I'm like, wait. So I felt like I was doing so much more. And our counselor, our therapist, gave us a list of duties, and it's so tedious. I wish we could give it to like everybody. Yeah. We might be able to Google it and find it, but it was just a list of duties. We're talking about everything from the grass being cut to light bills to, laundry to mopping the floors, every single thing. And I still ended up having more, but we were 2 or 3. We were really close in how many responsibilities we have. And so small things like Namdi, making sure the grass gets cut, cars and all of bills, certain things like when we travel. I was thinking about this story. Just so many different things that I started realizing, dang, my man does do a whole lot too. I think that it might help you, sis, to really sit down and maybe see the reality of your duties and his, like, what is he really doing? Now, if he sincerely, sis, if he is sincerely just going to work and he coming home and kicking off his shoes and chilling, then you need to have a conversation, prepare a little spreadsheet. Like, okay, if you're the more organized person, here are the duties and the responsibilities of our household. Okay, we have laundry. We have deep cleaning days on Mondays. We have deep cleaning days on Mondays. I'm like, babe, we got a big house now. I got to do the upstairs. You do the downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Carve a time out on Thursdays. Husband, I'm talking to you, lady, woman, wife, sister that asked this question. Thursdays, plan his schedule for him. Thursdays from 7 to 8, just 1 hour. I need you to help me vacuum the home. I need you to help me, and let's have Bible study. And I need you to help me. So I don't think that there's nothing wrong with you having a gift of that. To answer your main question, is it wrong to feel like he isn't leading? I don't think that is wrong. What I do think is that possibly your ideal of what a leader of a husband looks like, it might not be being met by him. And that's not necessarily bad either. That just means we need to have some conversations to correct our perspective. Okay, so you're not the man that's good at money. Well, let me throw that away. I don't have that in you, right? Again, I'm not going to tell y'all what social media, well, go to the next. Well, girl, it's a man. No, okay, let me look at you for who you are. You're good at this, you're bad at that. I'm good at this and I'm good. You're probably good at the opposite things that he's not good at for a reason. Yeah. So there just might have to be some perspective shifts, but girl, have a conversation with him, lay out the spreadsheet of your duties and your responsibilities and affirm him to step into some roles that he needs to, which is, hey, can you lead us in prayer every Friday night before we go to bed? Hey, baby, can you just bring a scripture every 2 times a week? Make sure you're dating him and y'all are dating one another so that you can see him for who he is. But I don't think nothing is wrong with it. Yes, I think that the role of a wife is to make it happen, but I think the role of a husband is to make it happen too. It just looks different per couple. Like I hear wives that plan out all the traveling stuff. I'm like, girl, I have never booked a ticket in my life. Nope. I will be lost if I had to do book a flight. Girl, I will be going to Russia and I'm supposed to go to Kansas City. I wouldn't know what to do. He's always done that. But most women do traveling stuff. They book the hotels. So just know you keep your eyes focused on what your marriage is and make it blossom by celebrating his strengths. And wherever he is weak, you're most likely strong. Girl, just fill in the gap.
Yeah, I think that was perfectly said. Definitely, because it's not a lot to add to that. I really wish for you that you had the sheet that we got that really showed.
I know who this is, so I'm gonna Google some stuff.
And see if we can find it.
I'm gonna see if I can find something for you, and I might send it to your DM.
Yeah, because that right there, just from testimonial, that right there was a game changer. I was sitting there like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because she thought she had me by a long shot.
Okay, but we're gonna keep it real though. The duties that I have is more frequent than yours. So he does traveling plans, but we travel not that often. Or he has, so it still is more. But I think one thing that has always been dope about us is that we just continue to have so many conversations. We be checking in, y'all. Like we like, hey, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Here in this last, I was just thinking literally today as you went to go get the salads, I'm like, dang, I haven't cooked in weeks. And that is so abnormal for me. I've been a stay-at-home mom forever. Yeah. So I'm not even used to just consistently, we're not eating out, but we go to Publix and get like little healthy stuff there. But that's the season we're in. Yeah. And you ain't been like, hey, where's my plate of food? Like we go with the flow, we go with the seasons.
Yeah, just understanding. I think that different roles, and you really don't know what it's like to be in that person's shoes. Regardless, that may be your husband, but you don't know like the pressures that men have from doing that. Being a provider could be so much you just don't even understand. And so I think that's why doing your date nights and things of that sort, so you can slow down and just talk and connect with each other. I mean, so you can know where you're at, because different seasons, you should have different expectations. Like right now, I know my wife is getting ready for an event. And so therefore she's tied up with it. And there's certain things that maybe she can't do as much. She's going to be occupied with this thing. Maybe he's working overtime at work. Maybe he's going through some things at work recently. It's just about that checking in and knowing where each other's at. So again, I want to say lower your expectation, but again, just it needs to change. Yeah, based off the season, and making sure you're doing those check-ins. Also, I love what you said, baby. And just to piggyback off of it is making sure that you know what is his strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah,
the same for men, for women. I think that was really big for us in playing, and I believe it was one of our good friends who's really good at the human behavioral system. And they let us know like some stuff is not going to look like your ideal man leading in this. You may actually be the main person in that, and it may not look like what y'all think that the scripture's saying on that.
And can I say something to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
That can be so difficult for a woman to expect, because I believe since young girls, we were seeing, think about, I think it's Barbie and Ken. You think about like just these masculine knights that are just protecting, and she's just the little frail, like, oh, you're coming to say that. Like we grow up seeing this form of a relationship, and it's like, girl, you're not you're not even her. And then you want this, so it's so many different roles when you think about it, like, no, I know what I'm doing. I don't necessarily need a man to help with this. Like, I think it can really mess with a woman's mind and just her ideal of what she wanted and what she's been trained to even want. Like, we've been trained to want a certain version of a man. And if the man does not exemplify that all the way, it's like, what do I got? What is this? And it's like, no, you have what you need. You have your strength. You have your better half. Like, so in so many different ways, like,
yeah, that's real right there.
So many different ways you are better.
And you're better. And I believe when you slow down, and something that married couples have to do, and just realize that you do have your better half, that this person's stronger in the area that you're weaker in. That's typically opposites attract. Like, in don't down them about some of their differences that may annoy you a little bit, but really just commend them for what it is that they're strong in. And sometimes it's some things like I've said this before, my wife is more of a visionary. Most men would be like, "Oh, you sim, he a beta male, ooh, whatever."
Yeah, because that's supposed to be a masculine.
Yeah, it's supposed
trait.
to be a masculine trait. Like I know, like, no, sometimes she can see it better than me. Sometimes I'll start overcommitting. I'll start getting into 20 different things, and I just have that tendency to do that. But thank God he gave me an opposite who'll be like, "Oh, no, okay,
we're not doing it."
So how are you going to do this program, that program, serve on that team, then work here, then work at the other place too, then do. I literally, if I didn't have her, thank God for her, I would be doing a million different things.
Literally.
I will also probably be connected or still dealing with people that don't mean no good by me either.
Yeah.
And I didn't see. So it's really championing those different,
huh? They probably think I'm the bad guy.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because I'll be like, no, we're not doing that. We're not hanging out with them. Right. No.
I'm thankful for because I would have been overly people pleasing. And there's so many different things I could say for my, I'm just that type of guy. And I know it's hard for most men to really do that, but it's also hard for women, like you said, to see themselves and be like, dang, I'm really not that little princess that he came and swooped up. I really got some areas that I need to work on as well. So just know you're dealing with another sinner. Okay. Somebody else who's, in flesh as well. It's not going to be perfect, but yes, check in and give some grace in areas that need to be and really play as a cohesive team. Like we know, we in this game together. We have a specific goal.
Yep.
We're on the same page, and we know at some points we may play different roles. I may, and I'm okay with it, have to step back if I need be. And she goes up front on maybe a certain deal.
And well, it's not an if.
And vice versa too.
That's literally our life. Like I preach, I teach, I do so many different what people will call assertive roles. And Nnamdi effortlessly just slips into helping and assisting and nurturing and hey, I got this. He already know how I'm gonna behave before a show. He's already getting stuff together. Like you just effortlessly slip in those roles, and then vice versa. If you want I'm in these meetings, hey, get those kids. I'm back into mommy role. And I think that's just something that goes along with time. But I wanted to leave you with this.
Yes.
What you focus on will grow. So the more that you focus on his weaknesses, girl, you're gonna look up and be like, yuck. Message. What did I marry and why? Like the more you focus on that. So what you want to do is focus on his strengths, pray for his weakness, and affirm the areas that you know he could grow in. There are some things that he's just not probably going to grow in. My husband not going to cook. That's just what it is. Message. I heard my sister the other day say her man was making some ribs on the grill. I said, well, ain't that nice? Not my man. But guess what? He makes good money. So I can buy the ribs. I can get them made. But there are other areas that Nnamdi roles that he's stepping in that I affirmed and I pushed that. I'm like, no, that's not a weakness. That's an insecurity. That's not a weakness. You just unsure. That's not a weakness. You just haven't tapped into that. That's not a weakness. You just don't know yet. Like you just ain't seeing it yet. So affirm the areas that you know your man. Like affirm that, push that. Those weaknesses, pray, cover him. Those strengths, celebrate.
This is an Iwegbu production.
Period.
Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Yes. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Iwegbus. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.